Doug MPA back on another video. So this is part of my continuing series about the city of Portland. This one's called Portland Daytime Camping Ban Ordinance Heads to City Council, drawing heated debate. Apparently, the city of Portland is finally trying to do something about the homeless situation, saying that the homeless can't camp during the day on the sidewalk, which is a good thing. And if you guys don't know from previous videos, I grew up in Western Washington State, so I've spent a lot of time in all the major cities in the Pacific Northwest. Portland, Olympia, Seattle, Eugene, Bellingham, Bellevue. I used to hang out in all these places. It was a great place to grow up, great places to visit, and to see stories like these where there's homelessness everywhere, crime everywhere in Portland, and people leaving Portland in droves. It truly breaks my heart, which is why I do stories like these. Before we get into this news clip, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And if you are watching this and you're a subscriber of mine, or you're watching this, please share stories about Portland in the comments. I would love to hear them, because I've only been back to Washington State a couple times since I left in 2010, and everything you see about these major cities is true. Let's get into this article here.
Armed with signs reading "House keys, not handcuffs," and "Let people exist," opponents of Mayor Ted Wheeler's daytime camping ban voiced frustration and fear outside City Hall.
Let's show that we matter!
And in council chambers.
What Ted Wheeler is proposing is inhumane, it's dehumanizing, and it will result in violence and death.
So remember Jordan Peterson said that too many young people latch onto these large issues instead of focusing on their immediate circle, immediate goals, and building themselves up into someone that can actually make a difference later on. That is this girl right here. Okay. And she's over sensationalizing this to try to get her agenda pushed and she's completely missing the point. Okay. You can't have homeless people camping out on the street 24/7 on the sidewalks. No. Sorry, young lady.
Like, people will die if this ban passes.
Yeah, people will die. Yeah, get out of here.
Is an attempt to criminalize homelessness, and instead of jailing homeless people, that money could be better spent working to provide adequate housing for a fraction of the cost.
Asking homeless Portlanders, 60% of whom live with one or more disabilities, to carry their homes on their backs for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, will heighten mental and physical distress.
We have women, we have children that are houseless. That to ask them to go to sleep at night is totally unrealistic.
Enforcement of the ban, which also prohibits camping at all times on sidewalks, near schools, and in high crash corridors, would be phased in. More than 3 violations could result in fines or jail time.
Look at all those tents just sitting there. That's awful. And here's the thing. The cities in the Pacific Northwest, the major cities, have more resources available than any other place in the country. They are throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at this homelessness problem and not even tracking where it's going, tell you the truth. I would say one of the biggest problems with cities in Washington, California, and Oregon is that they're throwing all these money at these homeless people with no measurable outcomes or deliverables. None. And these people are still out on the street, still in tents. Why? Something has to be done.
Since announcing these changes, our office has received
Look at that. Ugh.
overwhelming positive support for this proposal. These changes are critical. You may not agree, and that's fine.
Several speakers in favor of the proposed ordinance also testified, grateful for the council's consideration.
I'm begging you, please ban unsanctioned camping in Portland and stop the horrific crime wave that I am certain has affected you and some of your personal acquaintances.
And that's true. Every single measurable crime has gone up with the homelessness.
We absolutely cannot allow this situation to continue. We cannot allow people to keep refusing help.
I believe our community's intentions have been in the right place by prioritizing compassion for those who find themselves on our street. However, I also believe that our community has been taken advantage of by a significant number of people that do not want shelter, treatment, or the like, and merely want to live consequence-free on our streets.
That's 100% true. I always say, you can get this, you can borrow this from me guys. You know what's harder than being homeless? Harder than being homeless is getting up and going to your job and being a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. That's what's harder than being homeless. People always, being homeless is so hard. No, I would argue that, doing what's necessary for your family, for your kids, for society is harder than being homeless. You have too many people that just don't want to participate and want to do whatever they want, whenever they want. And Portland is having to suffer because of that.
Mayor Wheeler noting at the end of a nearly 5-hour council meeting, despite visceral disagreement, there's common ground. A need to address core issues of housing, mental and behavioral health, and addiction.
I think on the things where we agree, I wish we could be better coordinated to continue to fight for those services where I heard just broad consensus.
City Council adjourned just after 8 p.m. The ordinance moves now to a second reading. It's not clear yet when they'll vote.
Alma McCarty.
I really hope this passes because something has to happen in Portland. I'm going to keep doing these stories on Portland. I think they said that 8,000 people have left Portland since 2020. Portland has to do something because people, they're getting sick and tired of it. And I would be too. And therefore this holds a special place in my heart because I grew up in Western Washington. And to see this makes me sad. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.